Good morning. This is Denise. Welcome to my home. Oh, it's 7:30 in the morning on Saturday. I've been up for a long time. I think I woke up about 3:30 and I woke Peyton up at 5:30 for school. Guess what? It's Saturday. Anyway, she's back to bed and I've been piddling around the house. I am looking to start this video of testing out stuff. Now I got my hair on and I put my moisturizer on and I need to put my makeup on, and I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and film while I'm doing this, I guess. I'm not going to wear much makeup because I don't have to. I don't know what all I'm going to do. How are you? Gosh, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you come here. I'm just so blessed by all of you. Oh, this is one that I can show you too. I bought that mascara where one is a lengthening and one is a building. I don't think they do anything. I think that it would be nice if I could figure out how to do lashes. And that would be a good answer for me because I just don't have them. Let's see what I got here. I'm going to wind up putting on a bunch of stuff, and I don't need to, but I'm going to, I guess. I don't know. God bless you all. You are so awesome. Thank you for being tolerant of what I do and don't do. What plans do you have today? I was thinking about stuff. I gotta turn the TV off. Hold on. Okay, it's off now. And I put the chicken in. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn that down in a minute. I've got a pressure cooker that I'm gonna cook it in. I have this whole basket of stuff over here. All the stuff that we hauled last time to test out. So we're going to do it, and you're going to see me do all kinds of stuff, or at least try to do all kinds of stuff. So I guess first of all, man, I slept from forever. I woke up really early, but I went to sleep about, I think, 7 o'clock. I'll not do that again. That makes it really tough. Because I woke up at 3 and I thought, it's only 3 o'clock. And I thought, well, I have to get Peyton up soon. So should I go back to sleep? And it wasn't until it was about time for me to get Peyton up that I started getting tired again. So today's going to be a really interesting day. There's nothing in that box. There it is. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to be putting this junk on. Concealer. Corner of my eyes. I still don't know why I'm doing that, but everybody else does, so I'm going to do it. Now, I do know why I do this because of the baggy bags under my eyes. Let's see, where's that other stuff? I said I wasn't going to do this, didn't I? Well, it's kind of like potato chips. Once you eat one, you kind of have the whole bag there, right? This is the concealer that I have. If I had my glasses on, I could tell you the brand. But I did haul it with you, and I've talked to you about it before. And I do use pretty much Temu everything, simply because that's what I have. And I think I like it. I don't have really a lot to compare it with. I do have about a bazillion different mascaras, and I probably put them all on. I'll try one, and then if that doesn't, then I try another one. There's one. This was in my drawer. I have no idea where I got that. Actually, I had given it to Peyton. And I asked her some time ago, do you have any mascara? I gotta find one that's gonna give me eyelashes. She laughed at me. I moved my mouth. Okay, this is one of the new ones that I got too. So we'll see what this one is like. And you know, I really can't tell you because I can't see it. But when I feel my eyelashes, they don't feel voluminous. They're just black. So unless something comes and some of the orders that are out there, I don't think I've ordered anymore. I'm done. Oh, that wasn't fun. For those of you that didn't read the community page, I haven't posted yet this morning, but I had to reschedule my appointment because I think they're going to dilate my eyes, and I had nobody to drive me. I'm going to make it worse. So it's for the 9th. And I just talked to a friend, my oldest friend. She's not my oldest like an age friend, but she's been my friend since 1993 when I moved to South Dakota. And she just had cataract surgery, and she's had a horrible time with it. So, of course, that is a wonderful thing to hear about. I think it'll be fine, though. And this kind of helps me to think that I'm doing something about the jowly stuff. Oh, where'd the little top go? I'm telling you, that dog of mine is just, I don't even have a nerve that he's on. He's so bad. Do you remember when I hauled the things that you put your feet on and turn it on and it's electrical impulses? He chewed it up. I have a whole bucket of toys. He doesn't like the toys. He wants to chew my stuff. And I don't think I want to hear that, you know, he does it for me. I think he does it because he's bored at night. I know he'll come up and look at me, and I pretend that I'm asleep. Is this what I want to do now? I think so. And because if I move, he's right there up in my face. and he won't leave me alone. And he's not an old boy. He's a young boy. And I know he gets bored. But I buy him toys, the little stinker. And he got a hold of something that I'm supposed to haul, I know. I can't place it right now, and I'm not going to try. It was a makeup thing. And he chewed it up. I still have the makeup, but I don't have the box for it now. And I really am not sure where it goes. So we'll figure it out sometime, huh? Okay, so powder. Is all the brown stuff gone? I think so. I still don't know why I do all this stuff. Probably because I can. I don't know. I can't believe that I thought today was Friday. I've done that once before. It's been a long time ago. So, hopefully it's not a byproduct of old, that it's not going to continue to happen and get worse. I turned the chicken down. I don't want it to be nasty. But that's one of the things that we hauled, was that meat grinder thing, and I want to play with that. So I did this, I did that, I did this. Oh, eyebrows. I guess I need eyebrows, huh? Okay, I think I have some eyebrows. Whether they're even or not, I don't know. It's just kind of the way it is. I get to hide behind glasses, so it's not quite so critical, I don't think. Okay, now for the eyeshadow. What do you all have planned for the weekend? Are you getting out at all, or is there anything sunshiny, or? I took some vitamin D this morning so that my body will think that I was out in the sun. This is white, and I highlight, underneath my eyebrows. And then I use dark, and sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's lighter, but it's a brown. Which one did I use? I think it was that one. My eyes are shaped different. This one is the side that I've fallen on before and beat the heck out of. That's where I end up with my black eyes, is on this side. And there's a lump. I think that calcified or whatever, but it's not real smooth under there. Oh, and I was changing my clothes the other day. Good thing, huh? And this is like a yellow that I'm putting right next to my eyelashes, or on my eyelashes, or whatever I reach. But I'll put more mascara on so I can cover that up. This is the Volumes. I think it is. This is the volumizer. Let's just see what it does. Well, these have really, you know, the rods on them are not real solid. So it's kind of hard to get it back in the tube. Now I can feel when I'm putting this on. Go back in there. Go! Yeah. I can see me breaking this off. It's a good thing I have 32 others that I can use. There. Now what? Glasses. What do you think of the wig? I like it. This is one that I haven't hauled yet, but I got 2 of them. I have another one like this, and that's why I ordered more. And this is actually, I like this one better than the first one. I think it was longer hair. But I like the way it fits on my head and everything. So, I still have my standbys, and I'll never, I'm so grateful. This little piece of hair, I mean, you know, it's only a covering, but it has made such a difference for me. I wouldn't say that my self-esteem was in the toilet. I wouldn't say that, because I think that a lot of my purpose has to do with other things. As sick as I have been, and I'm not now, I mean, praise the Lord, I am so very different than I was. Last year this time I was just barely crawling out of the issues that I had had. What did I do with my chapstick? Ugh. From the year before, I had been in the hospital a lot. And I've said this before. I mean, they don't know what it was. I almost had surgery for something that it alluded to back issues. And it probably was, you know, because it's degenerative. But whether or not that would have been a stopgap for anything, I don't think so. Anyhow, with that being said, I was in a nursing home for rehab. Oh, call it a petting zoo. It was pretty horrible. The people in there got treated like little kids. And I really resented it. I think it was the administrator. I was walking, and with a walker, which I usually do anyway, if I'm not around something that I can hold on to, or I do a lot of, oh, there it went, what's called touch balancing, where if I touch something, I can realign myself, and it doesn't take but a second. You don't even necessarily know that that's what I'm doing. This whole table is full of stuff here. I have cake mix, oil, let's see, Temu's measuring spoons, and I'm gonna go get the rest of the stuff I need for this cake mix. Okay, so I have all my goodies here for making the cupcakes. I'm using Duncan Hines yellow cake mix, and I already put in the 3/4 cups water, and I used my handy dandy little Temu measuring stuff. I was going to see if you could put liquids in here and then not have them spill out everywhere, but I thought that's really silly. You can take these off, and of course I didn't do that. A smart person would take them off. So there's the 1/3, the 1 cup that I'm putting aside, and then I used these two for 3/4 cups water, and I have that in my bowl, which is Temu. This is one of the first things that I got from Temu, really, you know, that was substantial. I started getting rid of my glass stuff because it was really hard to lift, and I kind of got rid of my cast iron and stuff like that. I love these bowls. They're 4 nesting bowls, and they weren't very expensive. I will link those. Okay, so I need the cake mix. Oh, why don't I just do this first? I put ice in this cup at 1 o'clock yesterday, and it is 8:30 in the morning. It's still ice. There's just a tiny bit of water. I didn't put any water in it, but we'll follow this through the day and see how it's doing. They're really good. They keep things cold really well. And if I liked cold stuff, I would really be impressed with that. But they do well with warm stuff too. I like I think I've told you about a bazillion times that I drink warm lemon water. And I do drink coffee once in a while. I don't have coffee on right now. Of course I'm going to forget something, right? As in, I don't have any scissors. Okay. Okay. Here's my cake mix. And we're going to be using this Temu whisk mixer. And when we get done, I found my chapstick. We're going to be using this little deal to fill the cupcake holders, which happen to be these guys. I'm using the hearts and the flowers. The 30th was my now 17-year-old granddaughter's birthday. So these will be for her. No, get down. Get down. Oh, she's so naughty. She didn't get down, by the way. And my dog is standing here wagging his tail thinking I'm going to give him something, which I'm not. Go. Thank you. So I have my cake mix in there, the water's in there. I have 3 eggs. One. 2. 3. And I just melted some butter in the microwave. I've got to get that. This will be a really nice cake. 7 tablespoons of butter. I'm using my fingers, yes, I am. Because I can. Okay. Leave the knife alone, puppy. Okay, now this little doodad is just so cool. I love it. I use them a lot. And it mixes like a hand mixer. And you do need to put a little bit of elbow grease in there, but I like it. It's not quite as, that was the oven saying that it's preheated. I probably should have gotten out that little green mixer and shown that to you. Maybe I can do that with something else. I probably will because I have icing and stuff to do. And that's all that you have to do with this. Rinse it off. Cut it out. That was me. Okay. Why did I have these out? Stop. I don't think I had anything that I needed to put in there. No. You know what it says on here? It says, don't eat raw batter. How many years did you live? giving your kids the mixing bowls to lick. I've got to grab a scraper here for the sides. I get it. I suppose that, you know, it has to do with what can be in the eggs, the raw eggs. But I think about all the stuff that I ate or had my kids eat. And I think about the things that they eat now. Gosh, I don't know. That's a whole nother ball game. I just think that the dyes in the food and all that stuff have contributed to a lot of issues with our kids. And the preservatives. I've been reading about MSG, and it's a bad thing. And it's a bad thing for older people because it contributes to Alzheimer's. So just bear that in mind. And if I remember what I told you, I'll remind you. Ha ha. Okay. Now, what this is supposed to do is you can scoop up the batter and shove it into the cupcake form and not make a mess. I think that last part is probably not written for me. I guess that these could go on a cookie sheet, couldn't they? They're losing their form. To have one that doesn't look like it's dead. Let's not play with those, okay? Simply because I drop them on the floor doesn't mean you get to have them. So we'll put them on the cookie sheet. This one I did already, and it's going to be a mess. No, it's not. It didn't mess up. Yay. And that's a good test here. It looks like it's holding its shape pretty well. I've had silicone cookware before and I haven't used it. I gave it away because it just didn't make sense to me how it could work. Of course, I didn't try it, but I had like loaf pans and cake pans. And now it's like what everybody uses. So, put this down. And we'll just see how this works. So I have to retract this. So far, so good. My dog will lay there and grumble. Isn't sure what he's grumbling about, isn't sure if he's going to bark, but he'll lay there and grumble for a long time. I think I've told you before that I really don't have a clue as to how to train him. he's too quick for me. I can't just take him back to the scene of the crime because he'll run from me. And that makes me feel like he probably knows. Maybe I'm just supposed to give up and let him do what he wants. I don't know. I haven't spilt any batter yet. It's pretty cool. I don't have any on my hands. I don't have it all over the front of me. I know that sounds kind of silly to you, but my disability, I'm not trying to use it as an excuse. My coordination is not great. Yeah. I'm really glad to be able to have something that will help me to not become a screaming mess every time I try to do something. I would say that this is that it does what it says it's going to do. Like if you were making muffins that were bigger, you could just take 2 scoopers full. But this is about what you'd put in a cupcake holder. No. Okay. These are going to go in the oven. Well, I didn't mean to turn that thing off, but it got turned off. So it means I'm going to have to process this. It won't be able to get out for a while. Well, I wanted to tell you that the cleanup on this stuff was really easy. The only thing that you would need to know with this one is that inside here, you see those holes? You have to be really careful to get that clean. And with one of the little straw brushes that we get or something like that, it wouldn't be hard. Because I used butter in the soapy water and hot water, I was able to get it clean without any trouble. Now we have these sponges and these rags that I wanted to see how they work. This pan is soaked a little bit, but it's a dirty pan. Get some of this stuff out of there. See how it does. I'm going to use this first. Now, once I had a chance to look at these rags, these metal ones, that's what's wrapped around sponges. I think I mentioned that in the haul. I may have to soak these a little bit more, I don't know. There's rice and other stuff that's stuck to the sides. And it may be that this other thing will do well or not better. Remember, this is the wood pulp. I have no idea what the advantage of wood pulp is, but we shall see if it cleans better. And there's a part of this that has not soaked, so I think they're both okay. This one has a good scrubby side, but it's starting to wear, and it's only been one time that I've used it. So I'm going to need to let this thing soak a little more. I think that the metal one I think. Where'd it go? Will be a good one to have. See, these are the kind of scrubbies that I use all the time when I can find them. These are about shot. I don't know if I have a new one or not. I have Temu ones. Those are not Temu ones. Hold on. These are the Temu ones. And I like these. It has the metal covering, although, I don't know, they feel kind of the same. They don't look the same, but they feel the same as far as coarseness. And then you have that cushion of the sponge underneath it, and I like that. I don't think I'll buy these again, these. And I don't think I'll buy these again. But I will buy these. And these are, gosh, they're about $1 or so for 4. And they last a long time. I will put these in the, on the video. So I guess it didn't really matter if it turned off or not, huh? Because I still have to process it. I'm going to put pictures in there. I'm going to be walking. Well, I just checked on the cupcakes. They're cooking, but they're not going to be beautiful. I don't know why, but my oven is calibrated to centigrade. It wasn't when I got it, and I've been gonna go in and fix that. Look up the manual and find out how to fix it, but I haven't done it yet. Well, I want to go through here and see what else. Okay, we got this thing. I plan to demonstrate a lot. Oh yeah, this little doodad. This one. Here's the meat grinder, and the meat will be done here pretty quick. This is her mirror. I didn't get tea. Oh well. I think I have a regular tea bag I can open up. These are the cookie. I did get a melon, so we can play with the melon baller. And the mixer, I didn't plug it in. Maybe I should go do that. I will when I get everything else out. Really cute. And all these things were hauled the other day. And they all will be wonderful to demonstrate with. And when I ordered my food, I kept all of that in mind so that I could get things to demonstrate with. I bought potatoes. Here's the other mug that I got. I didn't use that one though for the ice. You know what? I didn't get anything to do with this. I was going to get pie shell. Straw. of a can opener. I can use that. Here's the plug-in for the little mixer. And the plug-in for the light, I think, or for that lighter. I'm making a mess. And here's a plug-in for something else. How many things did we have? Just two. There's just two. Okay. There's more stuff. Oh, no. This is for giveaway. As I put things away, I find things that are similar that I don't need to have. I don't need to have two of everything. So I start a bag for habitat. Anyhow, I'm going to have to trim these cupcakes, I think, in order to save their little faces. Because it's going all over the sides. And I think that's probably because the temperature isn't right. Okay, my friends, hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's see here. First off, I wanted to show you this. This is a bowl on Temu. It's a refrigerator bowl. It has a little colander in it. Now, I haven't looked at these strawberries in a minute. I've had them for 2 weeks. Now, nothing is going to account for the fact that we don't get fresh strawberries. You know, they're not red. They're kind of pink. But these look like they did when I bought them. They are, let's see, today is Saturday. Monday it would be 2 weeks. I got these out because one of the items that I wanted to show you, these bowls really work. I have blueberries. I eat blueberries all the time. Peyton likes strawberries, and I do too, but you know, I kind of leave them for her. But what you do is take the colander, you put your vegetables or fruit in it. Now this is a quart, I believe, of strawberries. Holds it really well, or a pound. Rinse them off and put it in the container. No water, no nothing. Put the lid on it, put it in the refrigerator. Now the lid is airtight. So the odds of air getting in there to spoil isn't as great. I really like these bowls. And I originally started using them for something else, and I've been collecting them. I used them for, you know, like storage in my medicine area and things like that, because I would wind up with 2 bowls with the colander and then this. And a lot of things didn't take lids. But I like them so well for the refrigerator that I use them a lot. And there's something that, you know, a lot of us don't have a big family anymore. I know there are a lot of you that are younger and you have family, which is fine. And they're great for that too, because, you know, kids have all kinds of food. and being able to keep them in food without spoilage is so necessary. It's so expensive to feed anybody anymore. These are a great investment. Watch for them on sale. Remember the tool that I gave you with being able to get the camera up there to find them at the lowest price. I will put this link on there. This is a medium, I believe, and there are 3 sizes. Okay, this is the strawberry picker outer. And let's just see what it does. Now you have to understand that I haven't tried any of this stuff, so I don't know if it works or not. You just kind of stick it in there and pull it out. There you go. And another one, you have to put it into the fruit, embed it a little bit. And pinch it and pull it out. So, have some strawberry. And the tops, it doesn't take a lot of fruit with it. Boy, I'll tell you, I wish my kids knew what a real ripe strawberry tasted like. I grew up in California. And goodness, oh, there's just such a difference. The fruit and vegetables here in the Midwest are so different than on the West Coast. Okay. I'm going to need to go get the trash can and bring it over here with a spoon. Okay. This is going to be in about 27 segments. I hope I can get everything done. I ended up with phone calls, and Peyton is going to a friend's house, so I needed to roust her. Okay, we are with the onion, and this is the little deal that we got, and I'm poking the pokey part in the middle of the onion, and cutting it. You know, if you make an egg flour soup or something like that, this isn't as easy peasy as fail. At least I failed. We can try it again. Let's see here. Let's try it again. Oh, this isn't going to work. Maybe with some other kind of vegetable it would. I don't know. It's supposed to be an onion cutter, though. I don't want to throw this away. Let's see. I will collect my little goodies in here. My strawberries. I didn't mean to eat in front of you. I'm sorry. It's so rude. I wouldn't buy this. Just cut your onions up in little pieces. Or maybe the mandolin will do that. Let's just see. But this is a fail. what did we decide on this? You know, this is not a real easy do for someone like me that, or maybe someone with arthritic fingers. You could use this to exercise your hands. It's got quite a spring on there. For younger people with more dexterity, absolutely. It's fun. The only thing I've ever done is with a knife, and I wind up losing a lot of the fruit that way. And this one, it just pulls the top. So I would say that if you're able, now how do I say this right? If you still have a lot of strength in your hands, this would work well. If you don't, you know, you can do this, but then when you have the strawberry and you're pushing into it and you're trying to clamp it down, it's hard. So I would say, for me, I won't use it. Probably not, anyway. Strawberry got caught in my throat. Okay, so we did that. Oh, this is going to be fun. You remember this? It's for peeling carrots, and I happen to have a carrot. Oh, this is cool. It peels really well. It's got a nice handle on it. It's ergonomically correct. Better than politically correct, huh? And look where all of the peels go. They go in here. Let's go, little girl. So, I have a peeled carrot, and I have a thing full of peels, and I just dump them out. And there you go. You can peel another carrot or potato. I don't peel my potatoes. I wash them, but I don't peel them. And you know, a lot of times I don't peel my carrots either. But my kids and stuff, they like peels. There's just so many vitamins in the peels. But this is an awesome deal if you're peeling. I don't have any peelings anywhere except in the trash can. Or if you have, you know, composting piles and stuff, those are really neat. Alrighty, let's see here. This really intrigues me. It's the potato doodad. And it's supposed to make spirals like that. We're going to find out if it works. And it even has instructions. No, you know what these are instructions to? These are instructions to the mixer. I don't know how it got in there. There are several skewers. There are 4 skewers altogether. And I don't know, probably you can cook them on the skewers. I was going to cook some oil, get some oil hot, and I may still do that. But right now, we'll just look and see how this works. Well, rats. I think I had a knife up here. What did I do with it? Oh, when I was cleaning up, right? Okay. I'm going to get a knife. Well, Peyton is off and running. She had 3 cupcakes. She doesn't like icing, so it was perfect. You know what? I didn't think about it, but that kind of tells me that you could probably... You guys need to stop. Spray with vegetable oil because they stuck. You don't think about it with the paper ones because the paper ones you just throw away anyway. But these, since you're gonna use them again, you might want to spray them. Okay. So, I'm guessing what we're doing here is the potato. Now, I'm not going to peel the potatoes. I washed them. Oh, the skewer goes through really easily. Okay. Got to get this started in there, and then it should progress. Just like screwing a lid. But it takes a minute to get it started. Okay, let's see what it does. And I guess this blade here cuts the potato as you go too. So the top part kind of comes off. Once you get it threaded, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on it. Ooh, it's working. How fun is this? You don't need to be up here. I guess you do, don't you? Hi. This is Gremlin, my poor little Gremlin. She's a mess. Uh-oh. It stopped cutting. Let's see. That's cutting again now. Well, this isn't going to be perfect, I don't think. Maybe it's just getting used to it and how much pressure that you need to put on it. But how fun would this be? I mean, you can do this with other vegetables too, I think. It's not going to make it in one fell swoop. And maybe, I mean, these are red potatoes too. I don't know because the texture is different than brown potatoes. You got to kind of coax it to stay on the... It wants to go down the skewer. while you're cutting it. This is going to take a minute to figure out. But look, it does do it. It's kind of fun. I don't know how far down we're going to go, but see, this happens. So you kind of have to, I don't know if I have enough hands to do this. I'm not going to be able to get it all the way down. But you know, I don't think that this is a failure at all. I think it's really fun. You could do this with apples. Wouldn't that be fun? But I'll turn you off here in a minute and put some oil on, and then we can deep fry them. So this is a rather inexpensive way to garnish your stuff. Make your vegetables beautiful. And then each potato would be on a skewer as you cook it. These are stainless steel. And I will link this up top. I don't think this was more than a couple of dollars, and it was really fun. And it'll be fun to be able to serve things like that. Especially if you have kids or grandkids. They enjoy that sort of thing. So, maybe we can go ahead and use the mandolin now, since I have a potato to slice, right? See? And I'm going to make French fries with the last of that potato, I think. I was afraid this was going to be kind of hard. Let's see here. That was the small fries too. Is it going this way? I probably need to cut it. Well, how about if we slice these? You know that it does work to make French fries. Or little fries. I don't think that it's that easy to play with. Let's see, this one we decided was for cheese. And this little container here, that's for storage. We could use this one, and that kind of gives it a ripple. Going that way? Yeah, I think so. And the top is here. You stick your, whatever you're doing, I guess I better do it this way. That doesn't look right. Somehow that doesn't look right. Things equal, I should be standing up while I'm doing this. Look what it gives you. Those will be fun to cook. They're like a cottage fry. These are fun. see how far down I can get on this. I think the blade is sharp enough. Well, you're going to have I guess now this goes up and down, so it's supposed to elevate and put pressure on the piece of food that you're doing so that you can do it all. I'm struggling a bit, but like I said, I think that standing up is probably the way you need to do it. But it's sliced all but this little bit. And it is going to put really fun twist to your potatoes. I like this. Let's see. Do it with carrots too. See how it does with the carrot. Probably sideways would be better. It would get a better cut. I don't know. And I know it looks awkward what I'm doing, but this is, you know, I haven't been able to do anything like this for a long time. For me, this is great. Ouch. Don't do it without the top. Look what I did with this. That's pretty fun. Yeah, if you have little ones that don't like to eat vegetables, if you make them pretty, maybe that would make a difference for them. And this one's just going to have to cook the way it is, I think. Now we got that one last one. Now, I think that we will be looking at a melon baller and so forth. I shall return. The potatoes are cooking. By the way, I cleaned the cupcake things and they weren't hard to clean at all. So while the potatoes are cooking, I have the melon baller here. We're going to see what it's like to make and turn it upside down, I guess. I've never done this before. So straight is not a strong suit for me. You'll get used to how far you need to put this knife. You see it's curved, and it's going to give a zigzag to the melon. I'm going to have to go check those potatoes in just a second here. Uh-oh. I'm way up here. Well, this is going to be odd looking, but you'll definitely know who did it. It's not coming apart. Oh, there it goes. Look! That's kind of cool, huh? Even if it isn't even. Let me go check the potatoes, and I shall return. I like this. How fun is it? They're still cooking. I'm going to dig out the seeds. Man, I haven't had a cantaloupe in a long, long time. Like years. I justified it because I thought Peyton would enjoy it. And I wanted to show you. So I guess what the deal is that you get the seeds out, and I'm going to go ahead and use this to put the little melon balls in. So you already have the garnished outside. Ooh, got to be careful of your hands. With the knife on that one end. This is a good cantaloupe. And I'm not making balls very well. I'm kind of afraid of getting poked here. I can see this working well with a watermelon too. Someone that's done this before would, I'm sure this tool would be fine for them. I'll put this in there too, the picture, so that you can see what would be really pretty too is if you did watermelon and cantaloupe and then put cantaloupe and watermelon in both. You'd have that color combination. If you had somebody that knew what they were doing here, I think that this would be just fine. Put the little balls back in here, although they're not really balls, but one side of them is, so you can make it pretty. And for Easter, coming up. Those colors, these colors are so pretty. I love doing stuff like this. I really do. I don't dislike being in the kitchen at all. I gotta taste it. Boy, cantaloupe still tastes great. If I was to do the whole thing, that kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at here. I would say that this is a yes. And I think every well-stocked kitchen ought to have one. Gonna go check the potatoes. Well, the potatoes are cooking. They're still they still are. Actually, they're not cooking anymore, but they're cooling. Have you ever had deep fried carrots like that? Ooh, they're really good. The potatoes have a lot of carbs in them, and I really shouldn't have those. I did taste them. And they're kind of like potato chips, the ones that have the ruffled edges. And the carrots are really good, I think. They taste sweet and stuff. And crunchy. I don't eat a lot of that stuff, so it's a real treat for me. One thing I did not get, I didn't get an avocado to do this with. I really think it worked. Oh, come on, cat. Sorry about that. My cat rubbed up against it. I kind of suspect that it works well. The way it looks and the way it's made and stuff, it should work just fine. And when I get an avocado, I will do it for you. Okay. I need to get a mirror. Okay, do you see this? Can you see the spark in there? I'm going to see if this works to start this. Ooh, look at that. It started it on fire. This is cool. You can turn it on and off. And then above the on and off switch is a little button that you push, and that makes it. Let's see. The cat is doing her thing again here. Can you see the spark in there? That's all electrical. And it did start the paper, so it's supposed to be able to start candles and all kinds of stuff. Anything that you want to ignite. If you have a stove. I was going to show you one of these. I'll have to get the appliance out and show it to you. These are the strips to wind the cords. And the can opener I can do. I won't be eating potatoes. I have a bunch of stuff here that I need to put away. Cream of chicken soup. Cream of chicken soup. Corn. I don't remember everything I got. Baked beans. I'll need to find something that I will eat. And these have Pop Tops anyway. Sliced white potatoes. I'll bet you could fry these too, huh? If they're already sliced in the can. I'm gonna grab a drink here. I think we've demonstrated a lot today. I don't know why I'm so thirsty. I was going to make cookie batter and make cookies, and I forgot the stuff to make the batter. I think I've got it, and I'll put it together and add to this video, and we can do that with along with icing the cupcakes. Oh, I was going to tell you, the skewers all fit inside the mandolin, so, or the, you know, the vegetable cutter chopper thing. And I'm all about putting things away where there's not a lot of room to put it. So it's very compact. Everything fits together inside the white or the clear container. I want to show you something. Hold on. I just had a bunch of fun. I don't have a problem holding on to oil that has been used already, except I have a trouble collecting it. I was trying to collect it, and I can't lift above a certain point with any kind of weight. I'm left-hand dominant, so my right hand doesn't want to do what I ask it to do anyway. My left hand is the dominant one, although I'm right-handed, but the shoulder is blown. So I'm kind of working with a deficit. And I was pouring it into the bottle with a funnel, and I put it on the floor instead of sticking it in the sink. I should have stuck it in the sink. I just haven't done this stuff in a long time, and trying to find new norms for me of what and how to do it. Anyway, I poured oil on my foot, and it wasn't boiling hot. It was hot. Here are the potatoes. Aren't those pretty? Now the slicey ones look like potato chips. And the other one on the bottom, it's all, you know, I suppose if you cooked them differently than I did, then they would look like they were spirals. And they are. I mean, it is a spiral. Let's see. If I serve this on a plate with like sour cream in the middle of each one, it would be pretty, wouldn't it? I'm just not one of those chefs. At least not now. It's like being a crafter wannabe. I will one day be able to say I am a crafter. I better pretty quick because I'm getting moved out of that room. Okay, so this is the chicken that I cooked in the microwave. I'm not the microwave, the pressure cooker. It's not all of it, but it's some of it. Let's see here. I'm going to put this down. This is the little lid. You push it down. And the device has rubber-like feet on it, so it doesn't dance all over the table. It does some. And you have to remember that I am not as agile as most of you are, or at least some of you. I think some of you are probably in a similar boat. And you're just grateful for what you can do, right? Look at that. That is so cool. I don't have to mince up chicken anymore. Is it good? It's good. Well, I'll give this to my babies. This is definitely a get. I would get this in a heartbeat. Ow, don't bite me. I really like it, and it's easy to use. So that's a definite. Let's see, the things that we looked at today. The melon baller. I like this. I like the vegetable slicer. I like the skewer. I want to try it on apples. And other stuff too. You could do it on pears. You could do it on lots of different fruits. Did not enjoy the onion slicer. The poor onion. I'm sure I'll enjoy this. The center puller outer for strawberries for me isn't a go, but that's because of my difficulty. Now I'm going to do a part 2 of this a little later. I'm a little sore right now, and we'll work on the can opener, the mirror cleaner. We'll light a candle or two, and I will try to make batter so that we can do cookies. I think that would be so fun. I love cookies. Cookies are my favorite thing. And you know the kind of cookies I like best are those Danish cookies that come in the blue cans. Man, I could eat a whole can of those. Well, I could. I don't know if I can now. I mean, I can't. I suppose I'd give it an all-American try, though. So we'll play with all of this. And in the meantime, I'll be writing on a community page. And since Peyton is gone, maybe I'll go to Habitat. I don't know. I'm not supposed to do that, except on Wednesdays, right? I don't have to follow any set of rules, though, do I? I've already paid for all the hauls for February. We're going to be doing not as many in February. I'm going to have about 6 hauls for February. I have to start paying back what I've used. And we'll be doing things like Habitat and other stuff too. This is going to be fun. I really like this. And a lot of crafting. I don't know. And please be praying that I found a sewing machine repair place that's cheap. But getting it there, not cheap, but close. I don't think they're cheap. I still haven't been able to fix either of my sewing machines. The second one, it'll take a few stitches and then not stitch and then a few stitches and then stitch. I have absolutely torn that apart and rethread it and fixed the needle and did the bobbin. I did it just the way they said to in YouTube more than once, and it still does the same thing. And then the other one still does what it did before, and the pressure, the dog that feeds, the feed dog, doesn't want to work. And I'm so frustrated with them. I spent hours and hours, and literally hours and hours, messing with this stuff. I have a whole pile of clothes that I need to alter. So be praying for me that I'm able to figure it out. Let's see, what else did we look at today so far? This for me is not a go. It's, if I were to look at it again today, I wouldn't get it. But you know, I'm not like you. I am in some ways, but everybody's different with their dexterity. And this for me is just too hard to close around the fruit. The cupcake holders seem to be fine. And I'll show you them. The cupcakes. And what else did we do? I cooked the chicken and cooked the cupcakes, and we did the slicer, which, I mean, the chicken mincer, and this is just the most awesome thing. It looks like an alien, but it works so well. I'll just be able to pull the meat off the chicken and mince it and put it in a bag and put it in the freezer. Peyton likes chicken and rice. I like chicken, just to eat chicken, because that's generally just what I do, is I eat the chicken or the whatever the meat is. I showed you the other frother. This one I need to put batteries in. So I'll do that in the meantime. So we can look at this. We can look at the fire starter. Come on, you guys, get down. My cats are very interested in what's on up there. We'll put a cord saver on there. Cookies. So we have a little bit to do yet. In the meantime, I love you all. I'm going to film another thing to put at the very beginning of this to qualify Temu, because I know that I could probably count this as a haul. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, because I don't think that I'm going to be doing any more sponsored hauls. They've changed their rules, and there are just so many things that you have to do. And it, you know, there are some things that I don't feel comfortable doing. So anyway, we'll just deal with what we have, huh? I love you all. It would be so fun just to be able to sit around and goof off. You guys have a wonderfully blessed day. And I'll talk to you soon. I love you all. Until next time. I think I'm going to go ahead and get this out and then make the other video either later today or tomorrow. And I'm going to do try-ons tomorrow too. So I love you, and until next time.